Tuesday, September 15th, and I'm at the Kenai River. It's about 8 o'clock. Just driving down the road, and I look down the river, or up the river, and I saw a couple bears on the beach. So I thought I would just take a little walk, see if I could find them. See if I can spend a little time with them and figure out what they're all about. There they are. If you can see them, right there. Like a good sized mama. And yeah, there's the other one. Wow, might be. So I've seen quite a few Kenai bears, but believe it or not, I actually haven't spent a lot of time with these bears by the river. Most of the Kenai bears I've spent time with have all been out in the mountains, and those have been more grizzlies. Okay, so yeah, these two bears are fishing. One's got a tracking collar on, I think. You can see them. There's the two bears, right there, on the top of my fingernail. So I'm gonna cruise down here a little bit, see who these bears are, what they're all about. But yeah, it looks like the one's got a tracking collar on. So the one bear saw me already. These are two good-sized bears. I'm trying to figure out right now if these are two juvies. Hey, buddy. He's checking me out. I think they both have tracking collars. It might be two juvies that just got booted. So I'm getting a little closer. I mean, on the video, it doesn't look like I'm even that close, but I'm about 100 yards right now. Yeah, that one's for sure got a tracking collar on. They both do. So most of the Kenai bears I've spent any time with or around have been Kenai Mountains. So that'd be your more classic grizzly bear. And these guys are going to be more in the realms of the brown bear. And this dude's coming down. He's going to approach a little bit this way, but I know he's just looking for some food. He's a big one. Wow, good sized bears down here. I'm gonna turn this off and get a few pictures, and maybe I'll turn it back on. I'm back. Got a little bit closer, just checking these bears out. I've purposely put myself upwind from them so they could, figure me out a little bit. They're really eating a lot, but here they are. So these bears are in hyperphagia right now, and hyperphagia is where they go into a state prior to hibernation where they try to eat as much as they possibly can and put on as much fat as they possibly can. So these appear to be two younger bears. It's possible they just happen to be next to each other, hanging out, eating, but my guess is just the way the bears are around here, they're probably two juveniles that were booted by mama this year, so that would make them about 2.5. And it's interesting when they get like that because they'll actually hang out with each other And they'll sometimes even come out of hibernation and still hang out with each other a little bit. But they may just part ways when they go into the dens this winter. So juveniles are a little bit different to deal with when you're dealing with bears. But I'll start getting a better idea what these two are all about as they get closer. Good sized bears, very healthy. So the closer I look, getting a way better visual on these two bears. I'm thinking now that the one on the right side is the sow, and she has her 1.5-year-old cub with her, which is on the left. And that cub strikes me as a female, but I haven't got a good enough view yet. This is these bears are actually visible from the highway if you look way upriver, but the highway's quite a ways away, but it's enough that people will stop and start a traffic jam. So I parked way down the road, went in a parking lot, and then I hiked down here about, I don't know, half mile, and getting a good unobstructed view with no people around, just me kicking it solo. As you can see, there's the two bears right there. And they're just chomping down on salmon carcasses, probably some spawned out salmon. And maybe some just floating carcasses. I'm just gonna see what Mama's doing here. Yeah, there's fish carcasses everywhere. Middle of September, so the sockeye are all spawned out. There's a lot of silvers still. So yeah, that is a sow with her cub. That's what that is. So scratch the whole juvie thing. I got a way better view now. I'm about 50 yards from Mama, maybe 65 or so from baby. So it's a 1.5-year-old cub, looks like a female. So there's salmon carcasses all over the beach, and they're both just chowing on them. So what happens is salmon go up the river in the lakes and stuff, and they spawn and then they die, and then they float. The carcasses float down the river, and then this is like a little overflow high water channel that clearly had a bunch of these carcasses float through it. So they are just cleaning up. But it also goes to show you how hungry they are and sort of what phase or how they're in that hyperphagia phase, because they're just going to town on it. So right now Mama and baby both know I'm here. And I'm always checking behind me too, because you can't get tunnel vision when you're looking at bears. But I like these bears. I like their temperament so far. Seem like a couple of good, healthy Kenai mountain bears right here. Very likely that they'll den up these mountains here, probably up and over those mountains back in there. So really major denning population area up there. So one thing, like when you're watching bears like this, they know you're here, so you want to keep yourself out in the open. it'd be real easy to want to just go tuck yourself up in those trees and sort of hide. But then you may not, the bears might start to think they might not know what to really make of you. Hey mama, hey mama. So I'm just watching this real careful. I know I totally just rambled and went off course a little bit, but I'm really watching her behavior right now. She was doing a few things that I wanted to look at a little closer. Okay, so I pulled over on the side of the road. I saw these two bears way up the river. Parked a ways from here and took a hike about a half mile or so. And checking these two out, mama and the baby, eating some salmon. Beautiful day in the Kenai Peninsula. So I'm gonna let them do their thing. They're eating. They know I'm here, but I'm gonna just let them do their thing and enjoy their evening, and I'm gonna move on. Just wanted to come check out a couple Kenai brown bears. See ya.